Good morning, everyone. How are you? This is Enrique of Spanish United. Today we have a very special guest on the show. Would you be kind enough to introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Hi, I'm Farrah Khan, Mayor for the City of Irvine.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Mayor.
Thank you for having me.
Likewise, as we had spoke through email correspondence, Spanish United and the Hispanic community is interested to know about Hispanic contributions to the city of Irvine. You being the first Muslim mayor of the city, and how are Muslim Hispanic relations in the city?
Oh, that's great. I think one of the first things that I realized when I became mayor in 2020 was that we talked about diversity, but we really didn't do much when it came to understanding the needs of our community, and especially our Hispanic community. And so kick things off, I wanted to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. And we did that for the first time last year. And it brought the community together, and I got to know so many different groups and organizations, that the door just swung wide open for opportunities here in the city. I also met with the Consul General of Mexico, had great interactions with them, and we're looking forward to celebrating again this year, with even a bigger footprint. But not only that, we're more in tune with what the community's needs are, making sure that we're providing in-language resources when needed, and really getting to know the diversity when it comes to the Hispanic community.
Yes, it's very important because Hispanics are not monolithic, as many people assume. Hispanic is not a race, it's an ethnicity. So Hispanic can be not only of any race, but also of every nationality. So that's very important to be wary and emphasize the diversity of Hispanic people, because the stereotype that
Absolutely.
people have is that Hispanics are of a certain demographic. So that's good. And we also wanted to ask, what is the Muslim and Hispanic relations in the city of Irvine?
Well, I think they're growing, outside of Irvine, but within Orange County. There's been a movement for Latino Muslim relationships. And what happens is, during Ramadan, which we're going through right now, it's a month of fasting for Muslims. What happens is, at the mosques, many of the different mosques, and they've had it here at the Irvine Mosque as well, is that a taco truck comes in, and we invite our Hispanic community to come join and open the fast with the Muslim community, get to know one another. And one of the best ways to do that is over food. So really looking forward to continuing the building of relationships, building of friendships, between the two communities.
Oh, awesome. I think that's awesome because I think it's very important, as the two demographics are growing in the United States. I think it's very important that there is to be not only dialogue, but also more engagement between both groups. And also there is a large Hispanic Muslim population that is growing. Not too many people know that.
That's right.
And I feel that if they are included and in Muslim relations, also Muslim civil rights, I think it could be beneficial for both communities.
Oh, absolutely. So, you get the dialogue, through interfaith groups and other cultural organizations, but this is one way that you actually bring families together. So kids are meeting other kids, parents are getting to know one another, and it's really a great way to build community.
Yes, I think it's very important. And one of the things that we do in Spanish United is that we are a Hispanic civil rights organization, but also we're also a nonprofit charity, which we engage in a lot of charity work with the homeless, with low-income people, people that are really struggling. And we go out into the field. We do like intakes on an individual basis to try to get people with the resources that they need for housing. And we also provide, for the immediate needs of food, water,
Mhm.
sanitation, like toilet paper and those types of things, because there's a lot of Hispanics and also non-Hispanics right now that are struggling being unhoused due to the economy and other factors. So It's very important that there needs to be outreach for those that are struggling. And I also read that the city of Irvine has been, struggling a little bit in terms of providing affordable housing for the working class community. So would you be kind enough to elaborate on that?
Actually, I would think the opposite. When you look at all of Orange County, Irvine provides the most in affordable housing units. Right now, when you look at other cities of what their affordability housing looks like, we are leading in Orange County. And not only that, but we are one of the few cities in Orange County that actually has an inclusionary housing zone, which means that any new development that's being built, 15% of that has to be affordable. And right now, we're working to expand that. Our latest memorandum of understanding with the Irvine company as they're building 4,500 new units is that we up that number from 15% to 29.1% of affordability. And that's really because we've been working together with our developers and we see the need of more affordable homes needed, not only in Irvine, but throughout Orange County and California. And we're taking that lead wholeheartedly and making sure that we're providing as much as we can as we're building.
That's good because housing is not only a social issue. In many ways, it is a national security issue. Like I've met with different mayors and different civil and community leaders that when there is no, what do you call that, housing for those that are unhoused, it can create social instability, national disability, and national instability, because when you have shanty towns that are forming, it can create a lot of problems, because when you have that gap between rich and poor and house and unhouses, it's definitely a recipe for instability. So I do commend you and do commend the city of Irvine, for trying to do what they can to meet the needs of the unhoused, because in our state, it is a crisis that's affecting a lot of people, and it's very important that it gets addressed as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Outside of that, we also have the Irvine Community Land Trust. It's a nonprofit that's linked with the city, and they have so far built 5,000 units with wraparound services to help those that were experiencing homelessness, those with disabilities, veterans, really making sure that we continue building, and that a nonprofit will continue building more. And these units are in perpetuity affordable with wraparound services. And that means that as we, graduate people out of those homes into regular homes, the door is open to take in more. And that's something that I really personally feel is the landmark that we can provide here in our city. And then one of the newest things that I'm championing now is our eviction diversion program. And that means, how do we stop people from becoming homeless in the first place? And if it's due to, their work, not being able to make ends meet, whether there's a health concern, how do we provide services where they can reach out to us? And then we, along with a multitude of our nonprofits, come in, provide them with emergency rent, get them stabilized, provide them with the resources that they need so they don't become homeless in the first place. And that's going to be launching in April, and I'm really excited about that too.
Oh, nice. Is this a new program? Because this is the first time I
This
hear
is
of
going to
such
be
thing.
a brand new program, and we're one of the first cities to launch it.
Oh, wow, that's very impressive. That's the first time that I hear such a program. I think it's going to work wonders.
It is because, we can't wait to, take action once people are out on the street or they've lost their home. We have to find a proactive way of keeping them in their homes, going on that stability that you spoke of earlier. How do we maintain families and individuals in a stable state? And one of the best ways is to make sure that they stay in their homes.
Absolutely, because when people have stability in their homes, it prevents other problems from happening. Like one of the things that I have interviewed with people that have been on the street that are Hispanic and other people, that one of the factors why they've ended up on the street is primarily is that they don't have protections, and also the lack
Mhm.
of rent control is also a major factor. So do you have rent control in the city of Irvine?
We don't have rent control in the city of Irvine, but I think we don't because we have so much in the affordable units that are available. But that's something that we can look into.
Okay, yes, because I feel that when there is rent control, especially when it comes to people that are low income, it can prevent people from being one step away from being unhoused. Like a lot of people
Hmm.
like to debate those that are for and against it. What are the pros and cons of rent control? The way I look at it from a social standpoint, that it prevents social problems from happening, and also from an economic point of view, is that when there is more government that takes a role in providing part of the income to the land, to the person that owns the building, it also gives a secure income to the one that owns the building,
Hmm.
because when the government gets involved in that aspect, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one final note is, as mayor, what would you like to see in the future, Irvine? And what are the things that you would like to see that that's different from your predecessors?
Well, I think a lot of the work, because I am in my second and last term here, that'll end in December 2024. A lot of the work that I've done as far as bringing diversity to the forefront, creating a DEI committee, and hopefully now we'll be establishing an office of DEI in the city. Um, but looking at housing, transportation, we're actually launching a pilot transportation program that is going to be run inner city. So it'll go from neighborhoods to shopping centers, destinations like the Great Park, Spectrum, and other places that we're launching that in a few months. That's something that I started back in 2019. That's exciting because now we're providing mobility for people in areas where they didn't have mobility before. And also with my Innovation Council and Innovation Lab, we're really looking at making sure that we reinvest in our community. So we have bright ideas that come out of Irvine, and we want to make sure that we open that pipeline up to more diversified startups, people from different backgrounds to get funded and have the opportunity of launching their businesses. That's going to be very important for me to leave behind as my legacy.
Perfect. I really hope that you're able to achieve it, and that the city of Irvine can progress towards the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Per
Thank you.
Perfect. Likewise. So we come to the end of our time. I want to say shukriya, for being on the show. I truly
Oh,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Those are one of the first words that I learned in Urdu, from some friends of mine from Pakistan.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, gracias.
De nada. So as soon as I finish here, I will send you the link. So do I send it to the same email to your office?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. All right. Have yourself a wonderful day, Mayor.
All right. Thank you so much, Enrique.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye.